So we are going to go straight into speeches this afternoon. So may I welcome up George, and can you all give him a huge round of applause? Thank you, George. There you go. Enjoy.
You've all cheered, but you haven't heard what I've got to say yet. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is George. I'm Max's best man. Most of you will know me on this side of the room. For those of you lucky enough not to know me, I'm probably the person Mica's warned you about. For the next 10 minutes or so, I will share with you all some lovely memories I have of this wonderful couple. Some less wonderful memories of the groom. I'm sure you've all had a lovely day so far, at least until now. Mainly due to all Mica's hard work and planning. Not sure what Max has done. I sat down to write this speech. I thought, I'll have 1,000 stories to tell, all painting Max in such a great light. After some careful assessment and sensible redactions, you'll hear just a few. Our friendship's been a long one, spanning over 24 years, constructed mainly on a base of shared stupidity. We met in primary school, and I now can't remember a time when we weren't friends. We separated, going to different high schools. However, we still managed to see each other nearly every day. I could walk into Becky and Stu's house without knocking on the door, and around 5:15, there was always the offer of a dinner plate. Our stupid antics started together young. We used to use a skateboard attached to a go-kart with an old belt to ride down a steep hill. The finish line was the main road. We used to ride Max's adapted bike, which caused many an accident on account of the singular brake stopping both of the wheels. And we used to play football in Becky's front garden, right next to the stained glass windows. We progressed to using an abandoned quarry as our first watering hole, and there's an ever-growing list of tales which occur after the age of a bouncer accepting our fake IDs. Max didn't go to university, but he got to live... That was nasty, Sam. Max didn't go to university, but he got the uni life on weekends. He spent most of his Friday nights on the M62, coming to stay with me and the boys for the weekend in Manchester. You could always guarantee he'd walk through the door with a crate in hand. We've never really stopped to question our friendship. Apart from one time, Max drunkenly accused me of being a bad friend. For not having his back. I had taken Max to Wales to a party I'd been invited to by a uni housemate. It was for his girlfriend's birthday. We arrived in a very small Welsh village. That's a pivotal piece of information. Everybody at this party, apart from the small group of us that had arrived, knew each other. We were the only strangers to the village. Not long into the party, a few drinks had slipped down, and I was approached by a friend of the host, the birthday girl. Max had been seen helping himself to some of the gin. I pulled him to one side and had a quiet word. We agreed it wasn't really the way to behave and went back to the party. Some time later, it was brought to my attention that Max was being a repeat offender. This time, he'd been caught red-handed. In the heat of the moment, Max grabbed a carrier bag and swept as much of the booze at the party into it and made a run for it. Safe to say that was the end of the party for us all. And when we returned to where we were staying, with the birthday girl's boyfriend, our host, in tow, Max launched his defence. It wasn't me. Strong defence for the indefensible. He was particularly angry with me. How could his best mate not stand up for him, not have his back? Safe to say the morning after came with some regret and apologies. We hashed it out over a breakfast of birthday cake that Archie Merrills had picked up from the party in all the commotion. I apologise for not having the full three-piece on. I don't know if anyone's noticed it's a little bit warm outside, and I haven't got the body for a three-piece today. Growing up with Max really was an experience quite like no other. In some respects, truly is a remarkable human being. My old man put it best once. Watching a young Max scale up a rock climbing wall using his one arm, quicker than the rest of us could get into our harnesses, sort of sums him up. I first found out how strong Max is in a souvenir shop in Lake Windermere. Where I fell foul to the hardest punch a child has ever thrown. For joking that Max required a carer due to his inability to pronounce a single word over 3 syllables. Max has always impressed me with his ability to mangle the English language. Over years, there's been countless examples of this, where he speaks like somebody has blended a can of alphabeti spaghetti. Or asks questions like, how do you spell and? An all-time favourite of mine is clean and steenen. Oh. And with the children in attendance, I won't elaborate on what he was trying to say. Would you believe his first jobs were working in schools? Helping to teach the next generation to read and write? Luckily for everyone, he has now found his calling as an estate agent. One of the only professions around where you actually get paid to talk shite. Gets worse. When I introduce people to Max, they often pose a question to me. Why didn't you mention that he's disabled? My response has always been the arm works. He plays on it. Usually with a far-fetched tale of a surfing accident, shark attack, or saving a baby. Their response is usually, there's a problem with his arm? Although I make fun of Max, his disability has never prevented him from doing anything in life. It's quite funny. Max has a history of competitiveness. Some of the lad's first memories are from watching him punch divots into football pitches after making mistakes. He spent the majority of his adolescence 3 feet away from a TV screen with an Xbox remote in hand. Well, multiple TVs if we're being precise. Had a habit of needing to use the Argos extended warranty after giving away a late goal on FIFA. Even up until the last games night he and Mica hosted, like the world's worst magician, stood up revealing half a deck of Uno cards up his sleeve. Max loved to brag about being the first of our friendship group to pass his driving test. Anyone who had the displeasure of riding in the Mini Cooper he learnt in knows that the driving examiner should have been sacked. If I remember rightly, the Mini didn't last a year. In that time he used the indicators 3 times. And he drove it like a modern-day Michael Schumacher. Moving on. Let me talk about the new industry.
You're a bad man.
Yes, Moving on. Let me talk about the newest addition to the Oakland family, the bride, Mica. I'm sure you can all agree that she looks absolutely stunning today. You should have told Max you were turning up like this. could have made an effort. It's a wonderful change to see you in such a gorgeous dress. I've become so accustomed to seeing you wear the trousers. When Max first met Mica on a night out in Jake's bar, he was besotted. She couldn't remember what he looked like. Their interest levels for one another have stayed roughly the same. After some failure on the dating apps, Mica resigned herself to letting Max take her out. And from it blossomed the relationship that has led us all to today. On first meeting Mica, I was thrown off by her ability to hold intelligent conversation. Her quick wit, her sense of humour, not things I associate with Max. Since then, Mica has become a friend, embedded herself into Max's group of weird and wonderful friends. Yes, some of those haircuts and moustaches are serious. After being together for a while, they decided that the time had come to move in together, and Mica decided the house needed redoing. After a few moans and groans from Max, they compromised, did the house up. Wouldn't be a quiet ride for them for too long, and after some thought, Max bought a ring. For most people, buying an engagement ring is something that they hide. Keep to themselves, for fear that their partner may smell a rat and spoil the surprise. Not for Max. Every time a drop of beer passed his lips, he loved to tell the nearest person to him his plans to propose. Shortly after his big purchase, they took a trip of a lifetime, visiting Hong Kong and Korea. Everyone who'd heard the secret was on tenterhooks, awaiting a big Instagram reveal of this infamous ring. Only for Max to propose in Tingley a week or so later. As all newly engaged couples do, they threw themselves into the wedding planning. Picking a date, booking a venue, and wanting to see just how far they could raise the stress levels, they got pregnant. 9 months later, I received a phone call. Hadn't been an easy day. There had been a lot of pain, sleep deprivation, tears, and that was just Max. But Gia had arrived, a happy, healthy baby, with more hair then than I have now. Their beautiful daughter Gia has had a huge impact on both of their lives, and it is great to see the two of you become such brilliant parents. Gia is someone who I personally look forward to teaching everything I know, especially how to take advantage of her father. I appreciate they'll all be checking your watches for when the food is on its way, so I'll begin to wrap this up before my very eloquent friend Max takes to the microphone to dazzle us with some incredible pronunciation of words that a free AI tool most likely wrote yesterday. Not done yet.
Yeah.
So to conclude, please allow me to break character momentarily and say some thank yous, slightly overdue. Firstly, thank you to the both of you for allowing myself, Kurt, Sam, your groomsmen, and the bridesmaids, Marie, Maya and Anna, the pleasure of being such a special part of your day. Max, thank you. For every time you showed up, for every laugh, for every drink from the cans of pop as kids to the cold beers shared today, for all the memories created, for every "you okay" text on the hardest of days. Thank you for your unwavering kindness, your generosity, and for never taking life too seriously. You would move mountains if it meant helping out a friend. You're one of a kind, and I love you, kid. From running around with mohawks to you being married, I never thought I'd see the day. Finally, thank you for giving me the honour of being your best man and allowing me this privilege of speaking at your wedding. So if I could ask you all, please to stand. And raise a glass to my best friend and his beautiful bride, and join me in saying the first cheers to the Oaklands. Over to the best part of the day.
I don't think I can follow that. Fair play, George. I never knew George was so kind, to be fair. First, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. You all are a big part of all our lives. We generally do appreciate every single one of you. When I first proposed to Mica, I was nervous, I was scared, I didn't know what to do. It wasn't mainly because if Mica was going to say yes or no, it was knowing that man over there was going to have to do a best man speech, and that truly haunted me for the past 2 years. So fair play to you, you delivered. Next, I would like to thank the venue, the caterers, the photographers, the videographers, and the musicians. Oh my God! Oh, I've been sat on this for quite a while. Stand up, George. Stand up, George. You did well there. You did well. Musician, well done. For all your hard work and dedication today. I may not have seen any single one of you in the past 2 years. You have been dealing with my beautiful wife. However, it's been me paying for the invoices, and so it's nice to put. It's nice to finally put your account number and sort code to the face. I really do, genuinely do appreciate that. First, I'd like to thank the maid of honours and the bridesmaids as well. You all look truly amazing today, and yeah, fucking hell. Speechless, correct. That is one of them. That's the word I'm going to use now. To Anna, teaching Mica that it was okay to cheat in school and talk about boys and makeup. Hopefully we do not teach our daughter that and teach her a good work ethic. Brilliant. Thank you very much. To Maya, teaching Mica to be a strong and independent woman. I can floor you enough. Floor you enough? Oh my God. floor you enough. You are a true best friend and an amazing sister to Mica. Thank you so much for being part of our lives. Oh my God. Jeez, I didn't think it was going to creep up on me this much. I've been generally bricking it all single day, every single day, about this speech. To Marie, wherever Marie is, there she is. For those who don't know, Marie and Mica are genuinely inseparable. When I first met Mica, I met Marie. And then for the rest of the 8 years I've been together with Mica, I've had Marie by the side. Trying to win an argument against one of them is genuinely impossible. I can't do it. I've tried the hardest. I've even had to rope in Marie's husband to try and help me out, and we're still losing at this point. So I don't know what's going to happen. And we had to jump in Gia as well, so there's 3 against 2. It's an impossible task. You are a truly amazing person for everything you're doing and done with this wedding. We cannot thank you enough for yourself and Joe, for the countless nights at our house, slaving away, putting fortune cookies into bags and dealing with Gia, screaming at Joe for being a man. Thank you. And now to my groomsmen and my best man, George and Sam and Curtis. Every single day being your friends has been a true pleasure. I cannot fault you enough. Words will never come close to how you've made me a better man every single day. Sorry. I'm not an emotional guy. To Sam, making them European trips, you being there would have made it 10 times better. Your jokes, your charisma, they're memories I will hold for the rest of my life. I'm truly grateful for you being there. To Curtis, where do I start with you? Having them vodka nights watching Breaking Bad, to jumping over hedges, sitting in nettles for 6 hours straight, trying to hide from someone's dad. Sorry, so something else. Insert funny joke. You're one of my best friends, and I can't fault you for everything you do. And to George, where do I start with you? Yeah, I know. I think of every single one of my friends as family at this point, but I think of you as a brother. When I was younger, I struggled in life with getting to terms with my disability and everyday situations in that aspect. And I always had a man to wrap his arm around my shoulder and told me it was going to be okay, and that is you. Me and George have a strange relationship, and it's mainly dark humour, and that's how I've gotten through most of my childhood. If it was not the making horrendous jokes about my disability, it was making jokes about some family member who has unfortunately passed away. When Mica came into my life and I introduced her to George, I went, just brace yourself. And after 5 minutes of being around me and him, it was, I get it now. You've always been a true hero of mine. I've always looked up to you, even though I am multiple months older than you, and you're a lot more intelligent than me. The multiple times I've asked you, is this spelled correctly? Does that look right? What's the main character in Shrek? It's fine. To all three of you, to my groomsman and best man, I do not think of you as friends. I think of you as brothers, and that extends out to the rest of you. You've done countless things for me throughout my life. I'm truly grateful to have every single one of you as a part of it. Thank you so much for being with me in that. Oh, cheers. Oh, my God. All right, I know Daddy's not funny. So touching. She's not a fan. To my family, to my mum, to my sister Bella, and to Stu, the love and sacrifice you've given for me throughout my life has been second to none. You've always made sure I'm looked after and well taken care of. You have sacrificed and done so much for me. To my mum, you've always made sure that I was the best man possible, and made sure that I was just so looked after. To my sister, you showed me what a true person should be like, with your smart intelligence, and where you could dealt with the rest of your life with everything you've gone through. I'm truly proud of you. And to Stu, coming to this family was hard. Me and Bella aren't the easiest to deal with. Like George said, the amount of TVs I broke was unmatched, second to none, and to Stu's bank account, quite damning. However, you stepped up to the plate. I am truly proud to call you my father. Now to Mica's family. When I first walked through your doors, I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I was nervous. I was genuinely panicked. Mainly because after I looked at Mica's dad, I went, he could beat me up quite quickly. However, you was warm and welcoming, and you welcomed me with open arms. especially when we had our daughter Gia as well. You stepped up to the role and became amazing grandparents in that aspect. The sacrifice you've done with that is second to none, and we do truly appreciate everything you do for us. I hope we make you proud of what we will become with our family. Sorry. Before I address my wife, I would like to address one individual first. And that's my beautiful daughter, Gia. You embody two things in life. The first part is your mother's. And that is this. We say wit. That is the strength and the characteristics of going through life, knowing that you're going to be a strong and independent woman. I would take no for an answer. Number two, and that's a bit selfish of me, and that's myself, is knowing I've always got a best friend in you. You'll deal with my quirky antics and deal with my spelling mistakes, but you'll always be there by my side. And hopefully, unlike your mother, you always say yes to me and not no. When you get older, I'll watch you from afar and make sure that you're going through this life to the best of your capabilities. I hope that you look back on this one day at your wedding with fond memories. She didn't seem too much interested in this, if I'm totally honest. She's not crying, that's the main thing, if I'm totally honest. Touch wood. And finally, I would like to address my beautiful wife. I was waiting for that. I was genuinely waiting for that. It's okay. It's almost over. For those who don't know, I met Mica on the 16th of December 2017 on a Friday night at Jake's bar, after my friend Harry convinced the bouncer to let us into a nightclub, even though we was more than drunk. He won a game of rock, paper, scissors to let us in. The first time I've ever actually seen him win a game of rock, paper, scissors. So fair play to you. After walking downstairs and needing the loo, I convinced Archie to buy me a drink, and I would come back and repay him later on. And on my return to the bar, I realised he hadn't done that. It's Archie. So I had to go walk my way to the bar and buy myself a drink. Upon arrival, I saw the most beautiful, amazing woman. I was genuinely in awe. So I walked over and tried to offer her a drink. Within 0.3 seconds of her reply with, "I've already got one, bugger off." I don't think she's interested. So on return, back to my friends, I nicked my drink, I nicked theirs, and I thought to myself, I can't let this one go the way. This is going to be my future wife. I can't genuinely let this go. So 30 minutes later, worked up courage to go over and offer another drink. At this point, she agreed. I don't know if it was me being charming, charismatic, or the fact she had no drink in her hand. She was willing to accept the terms and conditions with that. However, in the 8 years we've been together, we've always said, this has been the one major hiccup in our thing. I've always said, at 3 o'clock in the morning when I was sleeping at Archie's house, I got a call from Mica. At this point, she's always declined this call. She said, I never meant to do it. I meant to call Marie instead. I went, okay, then, nice one. However, because I've got a microphone for the first time in our relationship and people actually listening to me, I'm going to ask her now, did you mean to call me or Marie?
I called you.
Yeah! By the way, there's a photographer and a videographer somewhere, and that is on record, and I will hold that to the day I die. Thank you very much. I just needed to get confirmation for that. For those who don't know, When I proposed to Mica, we had to start planning for a wedding, obviously. Panic setting. I'm going, caterers, photographers, videographers, how are we going to do all this? And then in 4 weeks' time, we decided, let's throw something else in the mix, let's have a child. And that was, for me, so scared. I was so scared, I didn't know what to do. However, you set that off and you ran with that and you didn't have any fears with it and it was absolutely amazing. And that's what I love about you. You don't take no for an answer. I've tried. You generally do not take no for an answer. You're second to none and you're absolutely flawless. You're the first thing I think about in the morning when I wake up. And you're the last thing I think about at night. There's never a day go by when I'm not thinking about you and everything you've done for myself and for Gia. You're the gift that keeps on giving.
In a good way?
Yes, in a good way. I promise you now. I'm trying really hard not to cry right now. Public speaking is not my thing. It's really not my thing right now. Words can never describe how much I love you. They generally cannot. If I even try, they will not even come close. I tried to write a letter last night before she was getting ready. And I was just sat there for like 40 minutes going, this isn't even good enough, this is not good enough. And it went on and on and on and on. But you are just perfect. Love, the sacrifice, the dedication to our family and making it better. And planning for everything. It's so good. It's made my life so much easier. I get all goes, you're wearing that and wearing that and wearing that today. I'm like, yep. Thank you very much. Okay, that's not funny. Okay, it's fine. It's like 3 seconds left, I promise you. So I would like to raise a toast to my darling wife. Without her, this day would not be possible. Trust me. For the first time, but I do not believe the last time. Mrs. Oakland, I love you. I'm going to get drunk now.